know what's going on with my edges today. But anyways, can I start first by saying thank you so much for the love that you guys have shown me on part 1 of this video. This is part 2 of the things that you need to stop that might be making your home look absolutely cheap. We don't want cheap looking home. Okay, so the first one I want us to talk about is your rugs. Literally, your rugs can make or break your room. Okay, the difference that an area rug makes in a space is underrated, honestly speaking. So I want us to talk about the size and the material of your rug, because those are the big game changers, right? Every time you go buy a rug, you need to know the size of the rug and the material of the rug that you're looking for, right? And let's start with the size, guys. Size does matter. Okay, I'm sure you guys got that. Okay, when it comes to rugs, guys, size does matter. Okay, so your size of the rugs makes the difference, because we need to always remember the whole goal, the whole point of a rug is to ground a space, is to make the whole space look cohesive and the furniture to look one, right? To be grounded. Noticed a room without a rug, all the furniture looks like it's floating, like it's like literally everywhere. But once you put a rug and you put your furniture onto the rug, everything seems grounded and it seems like, okay, this is the living room, this is the dining area, this is the bedroom, this, so that's the whole point of a rug. So once you get the size wrong of a rug, you defeat that whole purpose of the rug grounding the space. The rule of thumb is always make sure that your furniture is on top of the rug, and this will obviously depend on the layout of the furniture of your home, but you need to always make sure that your furniture is on top of the rug, because the whole point of a rug is to ground the furniture, right? So for example, I'm going to show you guys here the different types of correct rug sizes based on the different spaces, like for the living room, for the dining area, and for the bedroom, right? This is this is a make or break, you guys. Whether you get a 1.6 by 2.3 meters or 3 meter by 2 meter, those are the South African sizes that we work with here. So whichever one you get, just make sure that you get the right size. The one thing that I always tell my client, before you even go, you need to measure the space where you're going to put the rug, right? As long as you know this rule of thumbs that I'm going to give you here, for your dining area, it needs to be here. For your living room, it needs to be like this, and then for your bedroom, it needs to be like this. The second one, which is the rug material, there's different types of rug materials and rug styles and all of that stuff, but I think I'm not going to focus more on the materials per se, like the propylene and stuff. I'm going to focus more on the design, the rug design. So there's the Persians ones. These are the ones that I always recommend to my clients, because they will always give you that elevated look. They will always give you that plush looking hotel or French or Persian kind of vibe, right? So these are the high-end looking ones. That's style number one. If you always go for the Persians, and I'm sure if you've been to high-end offices, if you've been into high-end hotels, you will always find the Persians ones or the Moroccan ones. The Moroccan ones are the ones that are more like the geometric ones. I really like these ones. They really work very nice in the modern day apartments, modern day houses, because they really give the space some dimension, and some, they have some interest, they add some interest to the eye as well. The ones that you definitely, any chance you have, run away from is the fluffy looking ones. I know there was a phase, I'm sure we all were into that phase where we were all buying the phase one. I'm sure if you're in South Africa, you know what I'm talking about. The fluffy rugs that we got for 500 rands, for 300 rands, that everyone was having in all of our apartments. We had those ones. That was a phase literally around 2018. I'm sure we all bought those ones. One, the wear and tear on those rugs is ridiculous. After a few washes, and they already look, they look so cheap. And two, they also move around, right? Like, you don't want a rug where if you're walking, especially in high traffic areas, like your living room, where if you're walking, once you step on it, it's gonna slide, especially if you have a tile, it's gonna slide, or if it doesn't slide, it's gonna bend. You don't want that. Or if you move your furniture, it moves with it. This is a plug. if you, because I know most rugs, especially the cheap ones, they do move with the furniture or they slide on top of a tile. You can get the adhesive, the rug adhesive, from Leroy Merlin, from Builders, from, I know it's cheap at White House. You can get it at White House as well. I'm gonna do screenshots for you guys as well. Basically what they do, they make sure that your rug doesn't move, right? They make sure that your rug stays intact. I think this will resonate more with people with small houses. Let's stop buying small things. Like, we have this, I don't know what to call it, like unconscious thing that because my house is small, because my space is small, I can't buy big stuff, you know, because I don't have space. Now the small things that we buy, they end up looking like clutter, or they end up looking out of space, right? Stop doing that, because it makes your, literally the whole space look so cheap, because you have all these small things. If you buy a vase, you buy the small one. If you buy a diffuser, you buy the small one. If you buy a lamp, you buy the small one. That literally just causes clutter in your house, and it also just makes the house look cheap. Go as big as you can. With this console table, if you notice, this console table is actually small for the space. We can actually stretch it out. If you look at it carefully, you can actually stretch it out. You can get a bigger sized console table. And then you look at that vase is actually small. You look at that diffuser, we can have a big diffuser and actually get a bigger one. If you step out of the mentality that because I have a small space, I need to buy small stuff, you need to step out of that, because that is exactly what is causing the space to look cheap, because of all these small things. Buy big stuff, be bold, buy things that are gonna make a statement in the whatever space that you put them in, and they will make a difference. And that is how they always achieve that luxurious feel, because they buy statement pieces. Immediately when you enter a room, your eye bounces off the stuff, the furniture, the pieces, everything that's inside the stuff. The minute you have stuff that's down, your eye they immediately draw your eye down. So if your TV is on the TV stand, your plant is on the floor like the one that I have, instead of having it there. Once you have things that are not up, that are down, literally it automatically draws the eye down. And you don't want that, especially if you have a small space, because it makes the ceiling feel small, right? Because your eye is down. Once you have things that are high up, like mounting the TV, you have tall plants, you have tall things, it gives immediately that feeling that, you know, that luxurious feel, that elevated feel, that the ceilings or the walls are taller. That's just like how design works. It's all about the eye. It's all about enticing the eye. And I'm sure that you've also, if you've mounted your TV, you've also realized the difference it makes just taking the TV from the TV stand and mounting it, right? But you guys might fight me on this one, okay? You might fight me on this one. I don't know, but hear me out. It's the corporate mugs and the corporate bottles, guys. These make your kitchen look so cheap. It literally feels like you're at the office. It literally instantly feels like you're at the office. It gives nothing that says you are in this luxurious or good looking house. If you open your cupboard and the first thing you see a cup from Investec, or a cup from a marathon that you did in 2017, or a cup from a political campaign that happened whenever, or a cup from, I don't know, like those things, they just make your kitchen look so cheap, you know? Can we please put it away? Can we please put it somewhere where people are not gonna see? Like, if I come to your house and I open your cupboard and the first thing I see is like a mug or a cup from a marathon that you did, it literally says an office. It says a communal kitchen. It says a res kitchen. There's nothing that says a Lux house about that, okay? Sometimes I don't know why we keep this. Maybe they are sentimental or something like that, or I don't know. But if you can put them in one of your passive zones in your house, right? And then just have the nice, neat looking cups and bottles in your cupboards, okay? So you know what, drop a comment down below and let me know if you actually have this in your house right now. So what I do with mine, I just pack them up and then I just take them home, or I donate them or something. I never really keep them with me, because they literally, like, one, I don't have space because my kitchen is small, and two, they're not aesthetically pleasing. Simple. For this one, I grew up in a black family, and if you grew up in a black family, you might relate to what I'm about to say, okay? So this one is fridge stickers, guys. No. I don't mean the magnetic ones. I know. You maybe your mind immediately went to the magnetic ones. No, I don't mean the magnetic ones. But those are they also make your home look very cheap. Okay, I get it. But I mean the stickers. Those, if your kids are in that era where they are into stickers, because I know McDonald's and all these other shops and the sweets and whatever and chips, they come with the stickers. And please make sure that they do not stick those in your kitchen fridge. Can we please let the fridge be? Right? They instantly, the minute I get into a house and I see stickers in the fridge, even if there's 5 of them, even if there's 2 of them, it immediately just devalues the fridge. It devalues the fridge and it devalues the whole space. Curtains, guys. When you go buy your curtains, you know the thing with curtains are like the walls, right? It's literally something you cannot miss in a space. So the first thing I want to talk about height, right? And I've said this so many times. Your curtains, the best way to hang your curtains, and I'm sure you've heard this so many times and we will preach it until the day, okay? Your curtains need to go from the ceiling to the floor, or as close to the ceiling as possible, okay? If you can't take them high up for whatever reason, but make sure that they're as close to the ceiling as possible and they are away from the thingy, from the window frame as possible, because that gives the illusion that you have higher walls, that gives the illusion that you have higher ceilings, which obviously translates to the luxurious feel that we are looking for. One, with your curtains, right, instead of buying the ones that meet in the middle, basically it's one piece of curtain but it kind of meets in the middle and then that's how they part together. What I don't like about those curtains is that they always make the room feel so dingy, because they literally are blocking the natural light from coming inside, and they just don't look good. They just make the space look cheap, you know. So it's always make sure that instead of buying those ones, always buy the ones that are just going to be gracefully on the side. And this one might not be common anymore, but I know I've seen houses with this still, and this instantly says outdated, instantly says old, instantly says cheap. A calendar on the walls. Like, do we not have phones anymore? Do we not have notebooks anymore with dates? Like, why do we need calendar? Like, our phones have calendars, our laptops have calendars, our TVs have calendars nowadays. Why are you making your house look outdated by putting a calendar on the wall? Like, guys, there's nothing that says outdated and cheap more than that. I know these came very handy back in the days, okay? I get it. Back in the days, we used to I know my mother used to bring probably 4 of them, one from ShopRite or Boxer or Pick and Pay or something like that, literally hang in our walls the entire year. And we would make, you know, back in the days they were handy because we would mark people's dates, birthdays, right? Birthdays, and then we would mark when the schools are opening, when the schools are closing, whatever. I don't even understand why we did that, but maybe back in the days we didn't have all of this technology that we have now, but then why would you have it now? Maybe back in the days it made sense, then why do you still have it now? Make it make sense. This one, the last one, is blank walls, and this is an easy one, right? Because once you have a lot of blank spaces, I'm not saying in your house you need to fill up every wall that is there. No. I'm saying that once you have a lot of blank walls in a space, it instantly looks flat. I always say to my clients, we have 5 options, right? We can put mirrors, we can put wall art, we can put a gallery wall, we can put a shelf, or we can put a console table. So we always have those 5 options. So if you have a big blank walls or in your house that you have no idea what to do with, and most of my clients are always like, I don't know what to do with this wall, and I'm like, okay, we have 5 options, so always choose which one will work. Okay, so those are all the things that I had with me today. I think I had about 7 and 6 of them. I swear to you, if you change, you don't have to change all of them at once, you don't have to implement all of them at once, just a bit by bit, step at a time, one step at a time. They will make a huge difference in your house. It will take your house from looking, or your space from looking tacky and cheap, to looking luxurious and elevated. Okay, so remember, again, I was not here to judge you, okay? I was only and merely here to give you options. Drop a comment down below and let me know if these were absolutely helpful to you, or if there's anything here that you've stopped doing or that you're still doing, that you're considering. Until next time, thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate you. Bye.